Murphy here with Best Homes. Today we're doing another segment on our new home construction video series, and we are at our corporate office in Burleson, and we're going to talk about foam encapsulation and zone heating and cooling systems. So, foam encapsulation, we all hear about it today. When we started about 12 years ago, this was a very new thing, and we have been working with engineers and HVAC companies and lots of guys that have helped us develop the systems that we know worked for us. So our methods are pretty straightforward but very effective. We entirely foam encapsulate, in this case, an office building, from the floor all the way up to the rafters. And this becomes as much like an igloo cooler as a building can be in our technologies today. What that does for us is we're containing a great volume of air and we're controlling that. And then the question becomes, well, how do we distribute that? How do we do that most efficiently? That becomes down to what type of equipment we're using. In this case, in a commercial building, we've got 3,500 feet here, and I can tell you I reviewed the heating and cooling bills over the last 12 months, and we pay all of the lighting, all of the heating and cooling for both units, including our renter who has 1,500 feet, and our bills here average about $210 a month. So that being said, let me show you how this works. This is a variable speed, high efficiency, very intelligent air handler. Outside we have an equally intelligent variable speed condensing unit. And what the system does is it's able to run at very low speeds. It exchanges air at a very slow rate, runs very efficiently. It can kick up to a very high rate when needed. But what we've done here, one system, 3,500 feet, we have 4 zones. Each of these zones has its own thermostat. Anyone in this building that wants to control a zone can manipulate that thermostat. That will tell the unit, I need heat or cooling in this area. That system will run. It will turn off the zones that it doesn't need. It will slowly open up a zone that's asking for air, and it will feed that, and it will turn off when that system is supplied. The other thing we've got going here is this is a commercial application. We've got round metal piping, and what that does is gives us a very friction-free, free-flowing, efficiently delivered air system. Okay, so this is a thermostat that runs our system. It's really smart. We've got 4 zones, as I told you before. This is zone 1. This is where we're standing here. We've got a temperature set at 75 degrees, it's 69 degrees inside, and it's 49 degrees outside. And that temperature difference is called a delta T. You cannot achieve a 20-degree delta T, which is the temperature differential from the outside to the inside with conventional insulation, without doing something really dramatic. So I can look at zone 2, which is running at 70 degrees, zone 3, at 69, that's upstairs that we just took a picture of. And then this is our renter next door, they're at 72 degrees. They can each go to their own thermostats and change their temperature at will.
Well, I could hear Mike explaining the system, and I was just telling y'all that it's been below in the 40s since Sunday morning, early Sunday morning, and this is Tuesday at 3:30, and we haven't switched it to heat yet in this office here.
So what you see here is my favorite thing about foam encapsulation. When we tried to do ceilings like this back in the 80s and 90s, this would take an additional unit just to heat and cool this, and the heat up there would be trapped. Here we get no thermal penetration, we get no air infiltration. Our one unit is still supplying and removing the heat in an efficient way, and it lets us create all of these interesting architectural features like we have here without compromising our energy efficiency in the structure. Okay, so We're here today. This is my partner Carter Haney. We've been partners for about 10 years now, and then last year we built his house. And one thing I know about Carter is he's not going to spend money that he doesn't see any benefit to. So I guess my first question is, we foam encapsulated your house. We did a very sophisticated HVAC system. You spent some money to get that done. How's it working?
Well, we love the house. I've been, ever since you started doing the foam encapsulation, probably what, 5-6 years ago, I guess?
About 10 now.
10 years ago. I've always wanted one, and so we had this opportunity to build a house, and we love it. We, like I say, you may have mentioned this earlier, but here it is. It's been in the 40s the last couple of days, and we haven't turned the heater on yet. We haven't switched it over. And I went to bed last night. I keep a thermometer by my bed just because of this. And it was 66 degrees when I went to bed last night, and it was 66 degrees when I got up this morning. Mm-hmm. So there was no change.
And the temperature dropped pretty dramatically last night.
Yeah, it was in the 40s last night. So we love it. We're allowed, like you said, we're allowed to have the high ceilings, and we're doing these vaulted ceilings. Really nice. We trimmed our beams in pine, and we love that. So all the custom features that you allowed us to do, we really appreciate that.
What would you say? How did you do? How did you do on your expectations through the summer of what you thought your AC bills would be or your heating and cooling bills would be versus what your other house was?
Well, versus my other house is probably half. Our electric bill is about half of what we were, and this house is actually 200 square feet bigger than our old house. And so I kind of knew what to expect by building on the last 10 years, but we were very pleased with what our...
So the investment is well worth it. In my opinion, of course, you know, we use the sales technique, which we could verify, is that when we first started this, that you would literally have to buy a house $30,000 cheaper at the time that had conventional insulation in order to get the same monthly outflow when you took the HVAC and the energy efficiency into consideration.
Yeah, and I would say the payback is well worth it. You know, I had someone call me the other day about solar panels, and I couldn't see. I was trying to explain to them that it's never going to pay back. They're good, don't get me wrong, but this is something that pays you back from day one.
And remember last week the realtor told us that she was showing one of our houses over there, and your neighbor came over and told her and her customer that, hey, if you don't think this works, you send that customer over to me and I'll show them my utility bills. So, you know, that's the highest compliment we can get. I think we're on the right road, and I know that we sure have a lot of happy customers as a result.
Yeah, I've got my July utility bill in my phone here somewhere. I can probably send that to you and show you what it was. I think it was probably in the 140 range for 2,850 square feet, and average high temperature was well into the 90s, as we know in July in Texas. So we're very pleased with it, and I wouldn't build another house that didn't have the foam encapsulation.
Well, I think we made a good decision going this direction, and you know, I don't see us going back to conventional insulation, knowing how well this works.
That's right.
Saves us a lot of money. It works great. We use a very similar type of construction in our new homes, and come see us and we'll show you how it all works.